Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Steve at Ontario Telescope. Welcome to another edition of Ontario Telescope TV. I hope I'm coming out loud and clear. A little bit different today. It is February and it's somewhat warm and sunny, which is really weird for this time of year where I am anyways. Usually there should be about a foot of snow and we should be like minus 25 degrees Celsius, but hey, I'll take it as well we get it. Hopefully we won't get the forest fires like we did last year, so things will get nice and wet between now and April, end of April. Anyways, enough about me. Why are we outside? Well, I have this really cool thing. I got two cool things I want to show you today. One is from the description, you'll see the Skywatcher SolarQuest with the Helio Find, and also the new Starfield 1.25-inch solar wedge, and we have both of them here in action. But I want to show what this does before. Hopefully this will work. Can I add a comment? Yes, I can. I'm going to put the link here for the solar wedge, right, so you can see the wedge. Check it out. $355 for the wedge. It is in stock and available, ready to go. We just got them in, so the website will be adjusted a little bit later on, but you can order them right now, and you can safely image the sun, look at the sun, and for an inexpensive price compared to other wedges that are out on the market. So we'll get into that in a second, but right behind me, I'll show you what we got. We have with us, do a quick tour of it right now. We have a Starfield ED80 scope right here. This is the Sky-Watcher SolarQuest with Helio Find. Now what makes this rather unique, it's this camera system right here. All right, we'll get into that in a moment. And then we have the Starfield wedge right there, right? And there's a 15mm eyepiece in it. This is a really cool thing. Okay, so how does this work? I'm going to turn this on right now. So there's a switch back here. I'm going to hit the power switch. There we go. It's flashing red. And what it's doing is it's leveling out the scope, which is the first thing that it'll do. This is going to take a second or so I'll talk through it. There we go. Keep the image going. So it levels itself out, and it has an internal GPS sensor in it as well, and it's going to look to see where it is, date, time, location, all that cool stuff. And once it has that lock, right, we'll see things. Yeah, it's flashing right now, the power light. Once it has that lock, then it will adjust itself. There we go. Right, to the angle it needs to be at, and it's going to start spinning around. Now, here's what's really cool. Here's the wedge. See the wedge here, this white disc, right? This is going to illuminate when the sun is when it's centered on the sun. And when we tried this out the other day, it was pretty cool. So it's circling itself around. It determined the angle that it needs to be at. I'm going to adjust the camera over here so we can see it spinning around. I don't want the sun's right behind me, so hopefully it doesn't mess up the lighting too much. And we'll see what this does. And it's still spinning around, finding the sun. That little camera, the Helio Find, is trying to find its location. Once it gets there, it'll lock, and we'll see something really cool on the wedge itself. So here we go. It's getting towards the sun. It's right over here. I don't want to put the camera, but if you look here, we should see, there we go, see the spot, and it centers itself in. I'm going to just take a quick look. It's there. I'm going to focus it up. And beautiful. It's right in the field of view. The entire disc is there with that 15mm eyepiece, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sunspots on there, and right in the center is a massive sunspot group. I read yesterday that it's 15 Earths across, so it's huge, absolutely huge. Now, if you plan to view the solar eclipse come April, this is an excellent piece of equipment to have. There's also the 2-inch version also, but the 1.25-inch, nice and expensive option compared to the 2-inch. You can image with it as well. There is a 42mm thread here. You'll see that there's a screw on the back. This allows us to rotate the, yeah, that's better. we can rotate this turret on top and it'll make it brighter or dimmer. So this is actually a little bit more comfortable to view. Yeah, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, right? Now, if you're going to be viewing the solar eclipse, these are a must-have as well, or some version of them, as long as they have the correct film paper in front of it. We have lots. We just got another shipment coming in, so feel free to order as many as you need. We do have them, and the trick is you put them on before looking at the sun, and there it is. Beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous. You don't want to look at the sun and put these on because it'll affect your eyesight. So put these on, look at the sun, look away, take them off. So we have stock now. I'm just going to switch out the eyepiece here, just for the heck of it. That was a 15mm panoptic. This is a 9mm from Antares, the W70 series. I love these eyepieces. Super inexpensive for what they are. And why? Because they're made in Canada. I don't have to pay all this extra shipping to get them all over the world when it's just a truck ride across from Vancouver and get a box of them, inexpensive. And that's what they are. Look at the size of that piece of glass that's in there. Absolutely amazing. Great eyepiece, 9mm. I'm going to put this in. Now, of course, the focal point is going to be a little bit different. And it brings that sunspot right into view. And what's really nice when you're using a wedge, the difference between a wedge and a solar film filter that would be on the top, and there's nothing wrong with those, don't get me wrong, but you'll get better contrast out of a wedge than you will out of a solar film. I can see around that big sunspot group, all around it, right, that more intricate detail that we would see through an image. So if I put this in through a higher magnification, or a longer focal length scope, and I have a camera there, I can get right in high resolution onto that sunspot. I can see the surface detail around it. Really, really cool. Yeah, really, really cool. It never gets old. It really, really doesn't get old. So, this is a great way to safely observe the sun. Now you're thinking, see, this is, oops, my glasses fell. This is pointing at the sun. Is it going to get warm? Well, I don't feel any heat right now. It is kind of cool outside, so that's not a problem. The scope is white, so it's not going to get hot like a black scope will. But all the energy that comes down is dissipated here. What we're actually looking at is a piece of ceramic. And there's no actual light that's being reflected up during the sun. The ceramic is absorbing that heat and that light, and then we're basically projecting onto that. So that's what we're looking at, and we can see it in very good detail. And then there's ventilation here to keep it cool. It's a very, very, like I said, safe way of viewing the sun. We've talked about this before with the 2-inch wedge. Very, very similar in design, but now we have it 1.25 inches, and we can view that sun safely. Again, we can image with it. It's got an M42 thread, so we can screw our camera directly to it as well. And away we go. So we don't need any additional filters. We don't need anything else. We just plug it in and enjoy. So anyways, that's what I have for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. The SolarQuest is in stock. We do have it. I'll put a link in the comments afterwards. The wedge is in stock as well. We have those also. And if you're looking for glasses or solar filter, now's the time to buy. They're selling fast. And I'm not saying this to brag, but we're selling about 250 to 300 glasses a day. With the quantities that we have, we should be good for quite a while. But as we get closer to the eclipse, these will get harder to find. And if we run out and we have to bring more in, they're just going to be more expensive. Because of the cost of shipping to bring them in really quickly, and manufacturers have already started to up their price. One of my suppliers doubled their dealer cost, and it was just insane. So get them now while you can. Anyways, clear skies, everyone. Beautiful day today. Hopefully it'll stay clear tonight. We get some imaging as well. It's been a while since we've been able to do that, and we'll talk to you next week. All the best.